Hello there, everybody. It's Julie Hutchison here from Think, Be, Do Leadership. And today we are on day 16 of 30 days of Communication Fest. 30 tips each day, well, one tip each day to help you improve your communication, your influence, your impact as a leader in your business or anywhere you like. We can use that. And today we are talking about shoulda, woulda, coulda. Like the song says, it's a big thing for me. So it was Beverley Knight who said it about, well, she said it 10 times, I think it is, the chorus about that, which was shoulda, woulda, coulda are the last words of a fool. And so I want to talk about that because there's one of my pet hates is saying what people should do. It's a really interesting phrase because I was actually talking to my husband earlier on, and I said, "Can you check the carpet? We're having a carpet laid." I said, "Can you check the carpet is in the bag? It's been delivered. It's a stair carpet. Check the carpet's been delivered. That it is the right thing. It is what it is in the bag." And he said, "Well, you should look on the delivery note, surely." I said, "Yeah, we should look on the delivery note, and it should be correct, shouldn't it? But what if it's not? What if it's not? We need to check." And so this word should, I absolutely hate. And that's why I want to talk about it today, because the consequence of like feeling like other people should do something, or you should do something, or somebody should have it right, or should say, and the impact of that on your communication and the way in which you show up and the way in which that you deal with situations. And that's what I want to talk about. So if you are listening live, then hello, and please say hello back. And if you're listening on the replay, just put #replay in your comments. And this is part of the 30 days of communication tips. If you want to know more, we're also doing a 12-week confident communicator course that you can be part of. It's an online course, a group course. So let me know if that's something you would like to do. So shoulda, woulda, coulda. The reason why it makes people fall is because imagine, we'll just go back to my carpet issue. Imagine that carpet was wrong in there, and I stuck at my in my position of, well, they should have done it right. Yeah. How does that help the situation? If I say that Lloyd, who's going to be fixing the carpet to the stairs, oh, well, they should have done it. The people who delivered the carpet should have got it right. It's an assumption, it's a presumption that they should have done the right thing. Well, actually, yes, they should have done the right thing, and they could have, but the question is, did they? Now, I can sit in what I call my position of they should have done it, but it doesn't help the situation. It doesn't help the fact that I need to know whether or not it is correct. And I cannot make assumptions about what's in the bag. Is it the right carpet in the bag? Yeah. And so this assumption that we make of, well, it should be right, or they should have done that, then it puts me in a position where I'm vulnerable because I'm making an assumption about what somebody's doing, not finding out the real thing. And so when we're communicating these assumptions of like, well, she said she was, so I'm assuming she did, or she said she was, so she should have done it. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. But being right doesn't help. Yeah. So we need to ask the question and not make assumptions or indignations. Is that a word? Like the indignant should, or she should have done it, is to step aside from that and actually think, okay, let's just ask the question, what's in the bag? What have you got there? Rather than, well, she should have done it, so I'm not. So I'm not saying that you need to check on everything, but what I'm saying is there a should have in your language, in your way of communicating? Well, she should have done that and she should have done this. Because then it goes on to the next phase, which is, well, I'm not doing it if she didn't do it. She should have done that. I'm not going to check. She should have done this, so I'm not going to do it. Yeah. So where are we putting ourselves there? Well, we're actually putting ourselves in a child mode rather than in an adult mode, because we're looking at other people's responsibility. We're not helping the situation. And it might be true, like I said, it might be true that somebody should have done something. But if we put ourselves in child mode of, well, she should have done it, so I'm not going to try. She should have done it, so I'm not going to check, or I'm not going to get involved. Then we have to ask ourselves the question, is that really helpful? Yeah. So I want you to change this kind of like feeling of, well, somebody else should have done it, to how can I help the situation? How can I change my presumptions and my assumptions around should have, would have, could have? Yeah, because these she should do this. What it means is that we're ended up taking less responsibility and feeling like somebody else is responsible for all the outcomes in a conversation. So it's a funny situation where these words change the dynamic of the conversation. When you remove should from your vocabulary as much as possible, it means that you take responsibility for the greater good rather than the judgment of somebody else or of yourself, because you can turn it back on yourself if you're not careful. But you take away judgment. These should have, would have, could have are quite judgmental, and therefore we remove them. But particularly should was what I want to talk about today, because once we do that, we stop saying, well, she should have done it. Then we just think, oh, it needs to be done, I'll get on with it. So our language changes, and we stop judging, and then people stop fearing and feeling judged, and therefore we end up with better communication, we end up with better relationships, because we're not using those words that make people feel bad. So hopefully that makes sense to you, because I probably didn't explain it very well. I'm in a bit of a doing everything day to day. I should have spent more time on it. No, I'm joking. But can you see how that's a judgment of me? So I did that on purpose. But if that makes sense, and you think to yourself, well, actually, I use that all the time, then what you can do is to look at what's making me use that, what's going on in my head to do that judgmental thing. If you're judging others, or she should do that, then asking yourself that question, okay, is that useful? Is that going to help the relationship? Is that going to help the way in which we communicate? Thank you, whoever it is who just put a little heart up there. That's really sweet. If that's the case, then you want to think about, is it useful in the long run? Yeah, would that be something that I really want to do? And if you're shoulding on yourself, as in like, oh, I should have done better, or I should have done this, or should have done that, that's even worse, because then you're just making it hard on yourself and judging yourself. Tosin, hello, lovely. That's really nice that you're here. So I want you to think about, can you remove those shoulds and clean up that conversation so that we have less judgment and more questioning, asking, has it been done? Do you need any help? Would it be okay if I do this? And then you are much more open to helping other people helping you, collaborating. And Tosin said, I'm going to put that on, Tosin. I'm going to put that across the screen now. Tosin says, I'm looking great. That's very sweet. Look, hey. Thank you, Tosin. And you always look great, so it's easy. But thank you. That's very sweet. And what it's on, you put me off now, Tosin. What was I saying? Yeah, if you remove those things, you're not judging others, you're not judging yourself. So you're coming from an open position, a clean position, where you're curious, you're helpful, you want to know how to resolve something. So your communication becomes much more open and much more easy, and people feel more easy around you when we take out those words. So Beverley Knight, you were absolutely right. No more shoulda, woulda, coulda, and much more open, vulnerable, and genuinely interested conversation. And Tosin, I'd love to catch up. That would be really, really nice. So thank you very much, everybody. I have another 14 days of communication tips on Communication Fest. So please, what did you call it? Tick the box that says you want to be notified. That's what I'm trying to say. Tick the box to say you want to be notified, so that you can be part of this. Because if you think about it, if you've got 30 days of, I don't know, like sometimes it's somewhere around 10 minutes each time, 30 days of that's 300 minutes. That's like 5 hours. Maths is my strong point. 5 hours of working on your communication, the impact and influence that you're having. That's like a free course. So please go find all the others and join in, because if you do this for 30 days, you will massively increase the impact and influence that you have, the positive impact and influence that you have, and your communication skills and collaboration skills. And of course, when you do that, what's it going to do? It's going to improve the results that you get, because people are going to want to work with you. They're going to work much more collaborative with you. They're going to do what you want them to do. They're going to come up with ideas and work together with you to achieve them. And you're going to achieve so much more in your business or even your relationships, whatever it is. Okay, so work on it. And if you want to find out more about how to do this in much more detail, then please come join us on our 12-week course, the Confident Communicator. And if you're interested to find out, then just message me and we'll set up a game plan and you can see how you can be involved. Okay, Tosin, if you're still on, then let me give me a shout and message me, and we can set up a call. That'd be nice to speak to you. And anyone else, please feel free to message, and we can talk through your specific situation. Okay, wonderful. I'm going now. Have a lovely day, and I will see you tomorrow for the 17th Communication Fest tip.